As if some robot is telling me I can't do anything.
It's not easy to go an extended period of time without any sexual release.
Think of your lad.
This retreat is to help you gain deeper emotional connections.
Is blue balls a real thing?
We'll find out.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps. My co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. I've taken advantage of lockdown. I have my handlebar moustache and I'm ready to go for a bit of Too Hot to Handle. Now, where do you want to start today?
I think there's only one place we can start, Dave, and that is with the guy who I endorsed yesterday. I am taking that endorsement back. Chris's fucking judgment of characters was completely off. Harry, the Aussie, is a fucking cock, Dave. That's all I can say. Disgusting in this episode.
I mean, there's a lot to talk around him, isn't there? And Francesca, and basically, you know, the quickest on this series where we've seen someone snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, God. How bad was that, though, Dave?
I guess, you know, to start off with, you know, everyone's waking up. Everyone's a bit grumpy at last night's news that they've found out they've got to, you know, not have any kind of sexual release, no kissing, no nothing. And Harry and Francesca got quickly cock-blocked there. But, you know, they were clearly kind of toying with the idea, and then they went in for the kiss.
Yeah, and they went for a kiss, and then he just said to her, you know what, we may as well fuck as well while we're at it. I mean, bizarre chat-up line.
You know what, Chris? We are never going to live the lives of these promiscuous fucking Instagram famous models, you know, and I just, my jaw was on the floor when he said that. It's like, really? Like, is that how you chat people up? He was like, you know, I think we should have sex. And it's after the first kiss. I mean, fucking hell. The set of kahunas on him, it must be huge. It must be bigger than boyfriend kahunas.
Well, let me just jump in there quickly, Dave. I did a little research on my good friend Harry, and you know when he said I've got boyfriend dick, you know why he said it? The fucking smart ass is he has a clothing range that he brought out a long time ago called Boyfriend Dick. So that's where that's come from, Dave. So he's obviously trying to get that. The smart ass, knowing it's on Netflix, and if he becomes popular, that he can now run with it. You've got bit of entrepreneurial skills there, but that's exactly why he said it. So I was like, "You're not such a dickhead. You're not such a nice guy. You are a dickhead." So I just thought his whole attitude towards her was completely wrong. However, that went from 10 to about 160 afterwards, Dave. It literally went up because of his bullshit he was spinning. I mean, what did you think of all that stuff? I thought it was great TV, but oh my God.
I mean, initially, well, I think it's Francesca, you know, initially kind of has a bit of a chat with Hayley, and Harry can kind of realize, he can recognize she's not going to keep her mouth shut about this. So he goes and confesses to the boys. Now, in that moment, I thought he was just a bit nervous. And so when he says, like, she kissed him, I just felt he was just trying to do damage limitation, and he was trying to make himself out to, you know, not be such a massive dick. But when it gets to the big group setting, so Lana, the little talking air freshener, you know, gets everyone into the, I don't know, living room or what have you, and says there's been a breach. And then it all kind of comes out. And Kells is the one, isn't he? He's forcing the issue. He's like, you know, who initiated it? And then it all kind of comes out. And then he just, the trouble is, rather than just saying, holding his hands up and saying, look, to be honest, it was me. I don't know why I said it the other way. Rather than just being honest like that, he just keeps perpetuating this myth that Francesca's gone and smacked it on him. And I'm sorry, but he just came across like a massive tool in that whole scene, which seemed to just escalate and escalate.
Yeah, and I'll be completely honest, Dave. I really thought he was a complete cock. You're right. Tool is probably too light word. You're right. He's a cock. And what was bad is anybody. We've all done it. We've all told a white lie, or we've all spun a story, and then you think, oh shit, I can't take that back now. You know, like because we've all done it. Nobody here in listening or anything can completely say they've never done this sort of thing, but I'd hope to think as I've got older, if I've done this sort of thing, I can turn around and go, you know what, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was being a cock. My mouth got away with me, which I do say a lot, Dave, with my mouth. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, I can cringe at stuff I've said when I was young, and I get that. It can be an age thing. But what makes it worse is Francesca's getting pelters from everybody. Nobody's believing him. Nobody's believing it. Everyone's going, well, Harry's a great guy. I don't believe Francesca, the bitch. And it's like, she did nothing wrong. And no matter who she protested to, everybody sort of ganged up on it. And I was a bit uncomfortable because it was almost bordering on bullying, I thought, Dave, because the girl was really, really on the edge. And it was a mutual thing. But because he'd lost the money thinking he was smart, I was like, you wanker. And he never once stepped in. Even when she said you're lying, he just sat there like dead smug. And I'm thinking, you're a prick, mate. An absolute prick. So I have no love lost for him. He's off my list now, Dave.
Yeah, the old Chris Phelps 180 or 520, as Tommy would say, Tommy Fury. So I read that scene a little bit differently because everyone was kind of, again, tensions were escalating, you know, and it was Kells, and like I say, I quite like him. You know, he seems the one who's actually he's got some common sense about him. But I think it was more Haley. I think it was her, like, arguing on Francesca's behalf, who was escalating it. So, you know, and the more she would push back and get nasty, biting back at everyone was kind of attacking her back. And that that was what escalated it for me. I didn't pick up on that they were kind of being a bit, you know, a bit bullying to Francesca.
It's funny, actually, because you mentioned Haley, Dave, and I'd also think Haley, as much as she may have been sticking up for her, she's a goddamn psycho. Let's be honest. She will rip your balls off if you get in the way of that girl. She went big time, and Rhonda had to step in and go, you're just playing rude. And they had a bit of a tete-a-tete. She's like, I just want to say what I think. And I'm thinking, but you didn't really articulate very well. You come across proper nasty, you know what I mean? So I think Rhonda was right there. I think Haley's intentions were good, but it just didn't come out right. Whether it was just because she just lost her head sort of thing, I don't know. But again, Dave, fucking great TV.
Yeah, it was brilliant. And we were talking yesterday, weren't we, about, you know, what are the rules? Is, you know, a slight indiscretion, you know, is that a different price from going all the way, or, you know, a bit of self-gratification, is that cheaper, you know? And we find out that a kiss apparently is $3,000. Now that is a fucking expensive kiss, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I've been reflecting on what I said in yesterday's episode about the love thing, and you were pissing yourself going, fucking love. And now I've got another slant. I think I don't know what was going on, but I think you were right. And the more I reflect on it, the more I think the concept of the show, which I find great, that we haven't really. We're sort of picking crumbs up, aren't we, as we watch it, which I find really good. Luckily, we haven't got a presenter, you know what I mean, on there telling us. I think I like this idea that it's a new show. We have to find it out for ourselves, what's going to happen. And that's what I'm sort of quite engrossed in, to be honest, is it's basically going to show that every single person in this villa is a selfish wanker. It doesn't matter who you are. At some point when they're tempted, they're all just going to go, fuck everyone else. And I think that's probably what the social experiment is as a show, to be honest, how selfish people are. And that's what I'm getting the vibes of. I think I was wrong yesterday in my sort of assessment of it. But anyway, fucking great reality TV.
Well, I think, so, like I say, Kells seems to be pragmatic. You know, he's definitely focused on the money. He's been labelled the accountant. I was quite surprised how quickly Matthew, you know, the Jesus character, the surfer dude, he came off a bit better in this episode, I think, and he was sort of having a bit of a laugh, bit of flirting with Lana as well. And I at the moment, I thought he came off better than yesterday when he was going on about, he doesn't understand monogamy and all that sort of stuff. So those two seem to be the ones that are a bit more bought into the concept straight off the bat. But we'll see. I think Matthew, I don't think he'll stand up to being tested, to be honest. Whereas Kells, on the face of it right now, I think he might be. Yeah. But what do you make of that, Chris? Do you think everyone, or are there certain characters jumping out at you at the minute?
I think usually with something like this, your spidey sense of reality stuff comes on. But when people start being a bit off and a bit nasty, that's what I love about these shows because the mask drops of this. Like I always say,
Yeah.
I've played it loads of times on the Love Island cast. Is the old Big Brother? Oh, first night, everyone is so lovely. Oh, these are going to be friends for life. Give it 24 hours. Like you fucking bastard, I want to knock you out, or you know what I mean. So I think so far, I'm not liking Harry. I've completely 180. Chris felt special. I've gone off him. I think you're about Matthew. I took the piss out of his clothes and that yesterday. It was just purely a bit of fun. He seems like he's quite level-headed. Kells, again, great bloke. I don't mind Sharon and Rhonda, to be honest, Dave. I
Yeah.
think there's something there.
Yeah.
They look pretty tidy, pretty sweet. I think I'm still not sure about Chloe. Even though she's from the UK, I just think there's something a bit snide about her, and I don't feel David at all. He looks like $1 million, but I just can't take to him at the moment. Francesca, not sure, but Dave, we got a kiss at the end. The kiss we saw at the end of the first show, and I was like, oh no, I've got to wait another 24 hours. But Francesca and Hayley went for it, didn't they? And it did look a bit false to me. I must admit, I wasn't. Not false, but I don't know. I can't work out whether it was just a shock factor or not. We'll have to see if they end up as a couple, but they went for it, didn't they?
Yeah. And there's no Lana in this house, tell you.
No, well, I was thinking that every time he said Lana, thinking, you're talking about The Bachelor, aren't you? But
No, it's the little talking air freshener, isn't there?
oh, right. I'm looking on the cast here going.
That's what they call it. I don't know what it stands for.
I'm a dickhead. Right, anyway. I'm going up and down the cast reel here as we're talking, going, who the fuck's Lana? And you mentioned it before, and I've just lost it, Dave, completely.
It's like me with See You Next Tuesday,
Yeah.
Why do they keep saying that?
I honestly thought it was a crossover with your Bachelor Banter podcast.
No. So, they strike me a little bit like the Mean Girls or something, Hayley and Francesca. They very quickly developed that clique and they've separated themselves out from the group. And then they basically said, well, let's cost them more money. No one else will know. And got it on.
Yeah. We'll see how that one goes. See what happens. I'll have a very close eye on that, Dave. I must.
I'll be watching very, very closely and hoping that they really push the boat out and cost them a bit more money.
What, you're going to send a check over for what the difference is?
But yeah, no, I think we'll see where that one goes because only them two know. And is the talking air freshener going to throw them under the bus or what? So it's going to be interesting where that kind of goes, I think. But you mentioned about David and Chloe. I think David looks like he's like a cross between The Hobbit and Harry Potter, isn't he? He looks like Elijah Wood. They actually had quite a nice little date, I thought. And, early in the episode, they were talking with Sharon and, it's clear David and Chloe had some chemistry there. And again, I still say they're all fucking promiscuous. If it wasn't for the show, they'd have fucked already. But yeah, I thought the date was okay. I thought they were taking a bit of a chance with the old putting the strawberry in the mouth. And getting really close there, but apparently they didn't touch, so it was all okay. Not sure it came off that well.
No.
But I can see these two kind of developing that connection.
They could be. I mean, look at the way I've changed in the space of an episode, Dave. I mean, I might be all saying about, what a great couple they are. Really nice people. They might be. And again, we've got to sort of take a step back and say editing always plays a part on telling these stories, don't we? I mean, if anything's taught us anything of this Love is Blind run we did a few weeks ago, there was 3 other couples that got engaged and they were like, no, we don't need you. So it could be anything going on. The one thing they haven't explained, and that's why I think the intrigue is there about watching it, is how people, if any, get voted off, or are they in for the duration? Because we know that there's possibly going to be a couple of extra additions to the actual house. So that could spice it up a little bit, but we haven't been told anything, which again, like I say, I absolutely love.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. It was last night we watched it, but didn't they show a preview? I thought they showed a preview of some, like 3 new people coming in or something.
That you're probably right. Yeah, I think there is 2 or 3 coming in.
We're fucking right on the money today. No, I'm sure I remember seeing that there's 3 new people going to come in and can spice things up a bit. I don't know. It looks like basically they've taken the Love Island formula and just added this extra twist on it. So yeah, it just seems to be they're doing pretty much the same thing. They're adding in new people that may get voted out, but I guess the big difference with Love Island is that there's no kind of voting from the public, is there? All the
No.
episodes are there.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping us is ourselves, because we want to make sure we watch one and then record. And so, let's see where it goes, I guess.
Well, it's interesting, though, Dave, if we just slightly move off, not from the actual show, but the idea that Netflix has all of a sudden commissioned 2 reality shows, within the same sort of ballpark, very Love Island-esque, but Netflix is a juggernaut on its own. I mean, look, Tiger King and like Making a Murderer, things like that have come out purely from Netflix. Absolutely phenomenal documentary series that have just taken and swept the world by his side. Whether the Tiger King would have if it hadn't been locked down, I'm not sure. But hitting that thing at the right spot and hitting that gold and is a really, really clever thing. The fact that, like you've said, these are a self-contained series with no interaction with the audience, a la Love Island or The Circle or The Bachelor or whatever. You've got there's no interaction and no sort of anticipation of going, oh God, I can't wait till I'm going to vote that bastard off or this couple off. You haven't got that. However, it still grabs you. And I find that this may be the format going forward. I'm not sure, but I am enjoying the fact that they've put the hat into the ring. Whether Prime does at some point, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Netflix have to think what their next move is, don't they? Because you've got Disney Plus coming out. There's talk of Warner Brothers wanted to release their own streaming service, I think. You've got Hulu. So, Netflix kind of have to think, what are they going to do? What is their niche going to continue to be? And I saw, on the Netflix Twitter, so many people are like, fucking hell, Netflix, what are you doing? Developing trash shit like this. you know how it is. We get it all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
We're doing the Love Island stuff. But so it will be interesting what they do. The thing I like about Netflix in general is they don't try and make just any TV shows for the masses. They have these little, segments, these little groups that they try and target. So they know that, there's going to be lots of Netflix subscribers that are into this kind of reality TV. So, yeah, let's develop a show for it. So, no, I think it's great. Chris, I just need Temptation Island Season 3 to come out.
I'm with you on that. I can't wait for us to review it as well, Dave, because the first 2 series are just fucking mega for me. They're brilliant.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of the reunion, or the last episode, sorry, of Season 1 to watch. And I need to do that today.
Well, we'll put it this way, Dave. I'm going to watch Hot To Handle after this. And I, like an idiot, I wanted to check on some of the cast members of Married to Medicine that I've been raving about. And I ended up going really in front, didn't I, like a dick? And Sam didn't want to know. So we were on Season 3. We're now on Season 5. We've gone through a full season this week of 18. I mean, last night, we even had family quizzes, but I think last night we probably watched about 4. And there's a point where something really bad happens to one of the couples. And I'm like, I've known for like nearly 10 days. And I'm like,
oh, my word.
Up, Sam, hurry up. And then Sam's going, is this it? And I went, so we ended up watching Season 4. Then we watched the 2 reunion episodes last night. It got to midnight. And you know me, Dave, I'm up at 3:30 for work usually. It's not, I know I'm lockdown and working from home, so I am up slightly later, but I'm usually up in bed for like 9:30 and gone 10 o'clock at the latest. And I'm like, and it was like 1 o'clock. And I'm like, we've got to watch episode 5, episode 1 of Season 5. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? And then we're like, oh, and then we're like, we need to watch a bit of the other one. We watched half of this. I think it got to about, I might be late, about 1:30. And we were still watching. I was like, we need to turn this shit off. We're going to be here all night. So, I'm watching that all afternoon, Dave, as well. But yeah, reality TV has a lot to fucking say in our household, and it's ridiculous that we're so engrossed in it, both of us.
Yeah, so absolutely. Episode 3 are too hot to handle next, and then finish off the last bit of Temptation Island, I think. And then I think we'll probably switch to a movie, I reckon. Probably for our VHS Strikes Back, probably watch that with Jade again.
Yeah.
I've introduced her to some fucking awful movies over the last 3 weeks, and I think we deserve to watch a decent one for a change.
I've picked a decent one this week, Anna, so we should be a bit better. You should be in good books, hopefully.
Yeah, so and I've not seen it. So if I know some of our listeners listen to that podcast as well. So that's we're going to do Beverly Hills Cop this week, and I haven't watched it for years, but I remember absolutely loving it. So I just hope that it really stands up. And yeah, so and then I'm going to be scratching around because the Bachelor, Listen to Your Heart comes out later today, but that's US time, so it'd be too late. So it'd be tomorrow. So yeah, still got plenty of TV to watch, Chris.
Yeah, plenty. And I started like Wolverine yesterday on Disney Plus. I love that origin one. I know people don't like it. I love that one. I started about half an hour in. But I'll tell you what has consumed my life, Dave, as well as Married to Medicine. And I'm a massive gamer, and I always talk about this, but Jordan, my daughter, my brothers, because I'm the oldest of 9 brothers and sisters, So like my youngest sister's only 21 this year. She's a year older than Jordan. And we're all gamers. My dad is. My mum's the only one, I think, in the family who's not a gamer. Everyone else is gamers. My dad still plays Call of Duty every day religiously, COD 4. It's ridiculous. And I've got into playing Grand Theft Auto online. Now, this game's been out since 2013. It was out on the 360, PS3. I've had it on them 2 consoles. I've got it on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. And I've started playing it, and it's consuming my life, Dave. Before we're recording, I'm doing missions. I was up early this morning to do these missions, and I've not been like this for ages. I play a game every day. I'm a massive online gamer. And I don't know what it is, but this is just ridiculous. This lockdown, I've really got to start training again, even though I can't do anything with my shoulder because I'm doing bits and I've cycled this morning and that, but I'm like, I'm going to come out of this looking like a fucking whale if I'm not fucking careful. All this hard work and training for years is going to be undone on this lockdown. I just need to just fucking sat down more than I've ever been, and I'm trying my best to get out, but it's fucking hard work.
Yeah. But again, I think it's just an exceptional time, isn't it? With everyone being on lockdown, I don't think any of us, people listening out there, don't stress too much about just do what makes you happy. Yes. I think and so I think then we'll get through it, and normal life will resume. I'm sure.
Exactly. And to be honest, Dave, the one thing I can't do that makes me happy, because I'm sharing a house with 2 people 24/7.
You just had that last bit of episode 2 on repeat.
Yeah. If we were on the fucking lockdown, if I was on the lockdown, I'd definitely be able to abstain. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Chris's happy time.
Yeah. Chris is on for the 100 grand. Don't you worry about that. Right. So, if you want to contact us, guys, at Love Island Cast on Twitter, the loveislandcast@gmail.com. And I say it every episode. If you can, please, and you've got a bit of time, just drop me and Dave a review on the show, and it just helps us grow and gets us out there to more people. So, Dave, thank you so much. It's almost felt like a confessional this last 5 minutes, so I really appreciate it. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders, if not off my balls. But anyway, Dave, let's go peacefully and watch the 3rd episode of Hot To Handle.
Speak to you tomorrow.
All we've got to do is just keep our pants on.